What do you do when you have a car that can morph into any car on the road? Or a robot that can smash food like no other robot? Make commercials with really cool special effects, that's what! Spike Jonze is best known for directing mind-bending movies like Being John Malkovich and Her, but sometimes he turns his talents towards commercials like the 2018 Apple HomePod ad, Welcome Home. It features FKA Twigs returning to a dreary apartment after a long day. It looks like she's in for another glum evening until she asks her HomePod to play her something she'd like, and Siri picks Till It's Over by Anderson .Paak. Twigs' dance moves stretch her apartment into a rainbow-colored, brightly lit wonderland, which was mostly created through practical effects. The set was built on hydraulics with special expanding props and walls. Twigs and Jonze worked with choreographers and engineers to create a dance that could interact with a set built to actually expand with Twigs' moves. When Twigs bumps a wall back, it's a practical construction pulled away by other dancers. And when she pulls a magazine on a table, another dancer is pushing a lever to extend that magazine to dreamlike proportions. Minimal CGI was used, thereby proving that creativity and collaboration are truly the best special effects of all. Taylor Swift has been dominating pretty much every corner of pop culture for the past several years, and that includes a 2018 DirecTV Now commercial that also features a version of her cat, Olivia Benson. The ad consists of a spokesperson hyping the wonders of cable that's tailored specifically to customers, while Swift rides out of the world of normal cable and into one full of giant flying cat-unicorn hybrids. Making-of footage of the ad shows Swift riding a fur-covered apparatus that looks like a mechanical bull in front of a green screen. Almost all of the commercial's magic was accomplished with CGI in post-production. When Swift asked if they could create a creature called a catacorn, the filmmakers took her idea and ran with it.
And I love it.
It's a little hard to believe that the Old Spice ad campaign, The Man Your Man Could Smell Like, starring Isaiah Mustafa, kicked off all the way back in 2010. The commercials feature Mustafa delivering a rapid comedic monologue while he does impossible things, all in one take with practical effects. In the first spot, he's moving through a half-boat set, while a shirt rigged with wireframes drops on him and off-camera crew members puppet set pieces in and out of frame. According to a deep dive podcast interview with commercial copywriters Craig Allen and Eric Kalman, even the diamonds in Mustafa's hand were placed with practical effects. As Allen explained, "We shot the diamonds as an element on black with a fake hand in there."
So there's actually a machine pumping diamonds through a fake hand that we then composite into his real hand.
These practical techniques were then replicated in later commercials in the campaign, including Scent Vacation. Starring Matthew McConaughey and directed by Oscar-winning filmmaker Damien Chazelle, the 2021 Doritos 3D Super Bowl commercial Flat Matthew appears to be a riff on the popular children's book character Flat Stanley. The ad features a paper-thin McConaughey going about his day while wishing something could make him feel like himself again. When he slips into a vending machine and pops a Doritos 3D puff into his mouth, he then proceeds to puff right back to life. It's a funny, if deeply disturbing, transformation, achieved in large part thanks to the wizards at The Mill, a post-production house famous for its top-tier VFX work. McConaughey filmed his movements in front of a green screen, which were composited and animated to create the flat versions of himself in the commercial. According to VFX supervisor Alex Candlish, the most challenging shot was the vending machine. The hand was a specific focus for us, transforming the flat features to live action, using texturing and lighting to bring it to life. The animation team transformed those flat features by copying McConaughey's facial expressions and other gestures, then mapped those over CG geometry to create Flat Matthew. Sometimes special effects are practical, sometimes they're digitally complicated and require teams of animators and designers. And on rare, glorious occasions, they're achieved by robots. And not just any old robots, super-powered s'more-smashing robots. Advertisers will generally put a commercial anywhere they can nowadays. That was certainly the case with this promo spot for 2021's Hershey's Chocolate World S'mores Times Square horizontal ad. It was directed by Steve Geralt of The Garage Agency. It shows off sumptuous s'more-centric displays, including a satisfying smash together of a gorgeously gooey, melty marshmallow sandwich. The perfect s'more is assembled using a motion-controlled robot. A behind-the-scenes video on the Garage's website reveals that the team had to do a little retouching and many takes to get the shot that would make busy New Yorkers stop, stare, and remember to add Hershey's bars to their shopping list. Sometimes the special effects in commercials are fast, furious, and cranked full of action. LG's 2016 World of Play commercial achieved that by creating a world chock full of action star Jason Statham. The spot was put together by Chicago ad agency Energy BBDO and its post-production partner, The Mill Chicago. While Statham is watching something on his new LG G5, he looks over and accidentally nudges another Jason Statham. This leads to an epic fight, a dance-off, and a heist, all with countless versions of Statham. This was all captured by filming the actor interacting with his double, then switching places with that double and filming the subsequent shots. The shots were then stitched together. Many extras wore masks of Statham's face, all bearing different expressions.
And as the shot was quite fast and was panning quite quickly, you never knew that they were masks. They all looked like Jason.
Creating so many masks looks incredibly difficult, and so does recording the same epic fight sequences multiple times to match multiple lines of action. The end result is a commercial that is playful, magical, and honestly due for a sequel. Jason Momoa is famous for his immensely muscular frame, and a 2020 Rocket Mortgage Super Bowl commercial utilized that iconic physique for body horror laughs. What better way to sell the world on mortgage lending? The ad features Momoa getting comfortable at home as he rips off his buff arms to reveal some spindly limbs underneath. Then he pulls off his six-pack torso to reveal a zero-pack. And he tops it all off by pulling off his flowing mane to reveal a balding head. The mill handled VFX for the commercial, which employed green screen windows and walls behind Momoa, who wore a green screen long-sleeve shirt. Footage of the actor was then composited with shots of an actually skinny actor mimicking his movements and tearing away a prosthetic suit to reveal his own skinny limbs. Animators then assembled this footage together to create quite the hilarious nightmare.
It takes a village to bring a Super Bowl campaign to life. It's just not one individual. It truly is a team effort all the way around.
Legendary VFX post-production house The Mill has created the Blackbird, a car that can be any car, and viewers aren't able to detect it with the naked eye. In a 2018 commercial for the Chevrolet Equinox, for example, the Blackbird looks like, well, the 2018 Chevrolet Equinox. As it turns out, the Blackbird is a VFX car rig that can be animated to appear as any real-life car in post-production. It looks like a beefy go-kart and is outfitted with equipment to help animators capture important digital information. It's also decked out with a camera rig to record the environments it drives through. The images captured on the car's drives can then be used to create photorealistic reflections in photorealistic CGI cars. Top Gear even did a segment on this technology. The Mill's international EVP, Alistair Thompson, described it as motion capture for cars and noted that making believable VFX comes from grounding the effects in reality. As he explained, it is a car. It drives with a real driver. It interacts with the ground just the way a car would.
But then you can then reskin it with any vehicle that you want on top.
The 2021 Super Bowl ad for the electric Cadillac Lyriq Super Cruise hands-free driving feature stars Winona Ryder reprising her role of Kim Boggs from the 1990 movie Edward Scissorhands. In this version, Kim is now a mom to Timothée Chalamet's Edgar Scissorhands. And let's just say this kid clearly takes after his father. Edgar goes through similar trials and tribulations that his dad did back in the day, including magnets getting stuck to his hands, accidentally nipping a bus cable, and always being picked last to play football. It's a heartfelt tale that ultimately comes to a happy ending when Kim springs for Edgar's new car, complete with hands-free driving options. Legacy Effects handled the largely practical work for the spot, as they custom sculpted Chalamet's Scissorhands in just 8 days. Interestingly enough, the founders of the company were also the wizards who built the Scissorhands for the original film. Ryder told Vanity Fair that Chalamet was a natural with the Scissorhands and added, "It was a pretty special thing to be able to revisit again, even if just for a little while." An iconic logo became very real in a 2021 Super Bowl commercial for Paramount Plus. The spot features various celebrities and fictional characters climbing their way to the top of the Paramount Mountain to advertise yet another streaming service. Puppets from Crank Yankers, Dora the Explorer, Beavis and Butthead, The Girl from the Ring, James Corden, Christine Baranski, Stephen Colbert, and young Sheldon Cooper are among the many intrepid folks making the climb. Patrick Stewart welcomes them all at the top with a drink and a SpongeBob dance party as they celebrate a mountain of entertainment. This ad may not be subtle, but it is pretty seamless, which is impressive considering that it was produced in 12 separate shoots in 3 different countries. Sarah Labrash, Senior Vice President of Creative Marketing for Viacom CBS Digital, explained to Paramount.com, "Due to COVID restrictions, we shot each individual separately. In most cases, they would show up to a big studio with a snowy ground and a green screen all around it. Those separate shots were stitched together in post by the prolific team at The Mill. As that same article revealed, we wanted the Paramount Plus Super Bowl commercials to look like a $100 million movie. It's safe to say they got their wish."
Sure, let's make it weirder.
The Allstate Mayhem commercials are a feat of advertising and effects, but perhaps the most special effect of all is casting the spokesperson's real-life brother. It's a simple trick that involves no green screen or special makeup, but it's still incredibly funny and effective. All of these ads feature the character of Mayhem, played by Dean Winters, getting up to destructive mischief to illustrate the importance of insurance. In the 2023 spot, Competitive Pickup, Mayhem plays your overly competitive brother. This includes a game of driveway basketball with Winters' actual brother, Scott. The sibling rivalry leads to the destruction of the garage siding that the hoop hangs on, but there's no need to worry about that if you're covered by Allstate. This example is admittedly a little different than all the others on this list, but we're still counting it as a special effect. Even though it doesn't rely on CGI trickery or celebrity star power, it's a fun in-joke that takes things to another level when you learn the behind-the-scenes story. It takes advantage of how long-running ad campaigns can feel like part of your family, especially one that's lasted more than a decade. In a world that changes every day, that kind of relationship is genuinely special.